Welcome back to the Final Fantasy Tactics All Oracles Challenge, being recorded here in December of 2021. Got a short one for you here today. This is the Windmill Shed. As the story of Meluda comes to a tragic end, the story of Ygraf really gets kicked off here in this fight, as Ygraf finds out who killed his sister and starts his battle for vengeance. Although, of course, the Ygraf story arc turns into much more than just a familial vengeance plot. This is an assassination battle. We have to take Ygraf out, and I believe you only have to put him into critical hit points here. So it will not take too long for us to take out all of the pieces that we need, get him in low enough hit points to exit this fight. This does have the guest character in Delita. We're not going to be able to control him. There's Boko down there. Boko we will see a little bit later on. Now he's an enemy Chocobo, and later he'll be a guest Chocobo, and then we can bring Boko on. Boko, of course, the great Chocobo from Final Fantasy V. I'm not sure if it's probably supposed to be the same one, because we do have the Final Fantasy VII crossover here with Cloud. But this is the first that I can remember crossover Final Fantasy character, named character in this game that you see. Of course, Cloud and Ares will come later on. So, Delita makes the move. Delita's still a Squire. I didn't think to start leveling Delita up to be an Oracle immediately here. Eventually, I did try to do that for some of the battles that we see him in, but it just wasn't something I thought about. My game plan for this one usually doesn't include much playing around with the guests because, well, when I'm doing my preparation between battles and my grinding, they're just not part of the equation, so I don't think about it often. Anyway, we have a knight, we have a monk, and we have Ygraf there, and Boko. Another monk around the corner. They're not going to become too consequential because we're just going to take a look at what we can do with our drain life. Now, Ygraf cannot be put to stone. He's got the named character immunity, I guess, from those instant doom kind of things. So I'm just looking at what order I can do stuff. Looks like his life drain, Ramza's life drain, will fire off before he gets another turn. So we're going to move right on up and start the draining. And now if it lands, it's going to do 25% of the max HP. So it's kind of cool when you do have big, strong characters like this, your life drain scales up with them. Your life drain goes to whatever their max HP value is. So I'm going to try to get as many characters within striking distance as I can. And if anyone can't get into striking distance, my plan would be to try to see if I can get a Pray Faith to land on them before it goes off to just increase their chance to hit. Because you can see we're in the the high 70s. I think Ramza is a Taurus in this route, and Taurus does have good compatibility to Ygraf. There I was counting squares to make sure that I was 4 tiles away. And I believe if we get 3 of these to land, then we're going to finish the battle. Let's see here as they go off. Ramza's going to land his. So yeah, Ramza has good compatibility to Ygraf, so his will hit more. And that's going to be important later in the Ygraf Velius battle. I'm hoping that that's going to help me when that battle comes up. That'll be probably the hardest battle in the game. So there's 2 landed. So Ygraf is at half health. Now, there is some funky rounding here. I need to look up the rounding rules in this game because sometimes your rounding it seems like it rounds up more than it truncates or rounds down. Yeah, it was just 3 of them, so Ygraf's going to warp away. So sometimes, yeah, after a couple of those, they can be less than half health as it deals damage to them and rounds up with each one. So I'll have to check those out and see how that works. But that is it for Ygraf for now. We'll see Ygraf, of course, a few more times throughout this game. If you like this series, stay tuned. We've got a big one coming up next. If you like this, go ahead and push the thumbs up button, subscribe, leave me a comment, or hit me up on Twitter where I'm also active, _ATE. We will see you in the next fight.